So first of all, I forgot to bring a tripod because I forgot that I was going to try to record this whole thing. So bear with me. I'm sorry. But I just wanted to talk about some like tips for the event to know beforehand. 1, he keeps his rooms very cold. So you want to bring layers no matter, like, you're going to be inside and outside for these events, but even when you're inside, you want to bring layers so that you can take them on and off throughout the lectures and meditations. Secondly, bring a pillow or a blanket. You don't have to bring a yoga mat, but if you want to, you can. Yoga mats are kind of a little bit too wide for the space that you get at the events, so they're kind of annoying because you crowd the other person that's next to you, so I don't love them. But if you want to take a yoga mat to like stretch and do things on your own, definitely do that, because you are sitting a lot all day long. Also, if you're going to a location that's colder, you're gonna have to do outside walking meditations. So he usually does, I think it's about 2 to 3 of them at his events. So you're gonna wanna bring very, very, very warm clothes. So if the weather is an issue for you and you can't handle the cold, you better prepare for it well, because you don't wanna miss the walking meditations. And then I usually bring a journal just so I can write down kind of my experience throughout the process. I used to take a lot of notes at the week-long advanced, but for the advanced follow-ups, I don't really take a ton of notes. But I do have a notebook with me just so I can write anything down that I want to. At these events, they do serve a breakfast and lunch service. Dinners are usually on your own. And if you're going to these events, just be prepared to wake up early. I woke up at 5 o'clock today because the event started at 6 and the doors open at 5:30. You kind of want to get up early and get a good spot, because the closer you are to the aisle, the more room you're going to have. You do meditations right in front of your seat, so it can get a little cramped sometimes. So I like to try to go beforehand and get a end seat, because there's usually a little bit more space there.
We know has gone, shadows falling on your face, the turning of the night to day, and elemental grace.
So today's Friday, day 2 of the event. The first night we just had the welcoming like party, I guess you could say. And then he talked for an hour, and then we did just an opening meditation last night. Got done at like 10 o'clock, well, 9 o'clock, 9:30? Got done at 9:30. Came back to the hotel room, took a shower, and then headed to bed. So today's day 2 of the event. It's Thursday, and we started at 5 a.m. today. So the doors opened at 5:30, and then the meditation started at 6. Well, he usually does an intro to the meditation beforehand. So he did that. He talked about the breath work, which, if you know Dr. Joe Dispenza, he talks about breath work a lot. So he taught that again, and then we did a blessings of the energy centers meditation, and then just breaked for breakfast. So I just had breakfast, came back to my room to chill and hang out until we have to go back. I need to go back down in like 20 minutes, and then we will be doing the second session of the day. So we finished the event at probably like 8 o'clock tonight, and then he's doing a bedtime meditation on the hotel TV. So I have like 15 minutes until I have to watch this meditation, and then thankfully go to bed because I'm very tired. It's been a very long day of meditations, and all I want to do is go to sleep. So we shall see how this goes.
Holding out my hand, holding out.
terrible angles in this video, but I didn't bring a tripod, so here we are. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the last couple days. It was day 3, and we started at 5 a.m. Well, I had to get up at 5 a.m. because the event started at 6. Pro tip, you want to get there early so that you can try and get a seat that's on the outside of the row. Those ones tend to have a little bit more space. I'm a tiny human, so I probably should be nice and sit in the middle and like take one for the team, but like it's so much easier to meditate and get a good meditation in when you have a little bit more space between everyone that's around you. So woke up at 5, the event started at 6. We did a meditation right off the bat. It was his new one, the electric body. I think that's what it's called. I haven't done that one before because the last time I went to an advanced, he didn't teach that one. So we did that one. Directly after that, we went outside into the freezing cold and did a walking meditation, and then had our first break. Throughout the day, we just had a little bit of lecture and then some more meditations. He did have a scientist that comes and just talked for a little bit about the research that they're doing during the events. So if you're very scientific based and you need proof and you like the science behind meditation and what they're studying, he has like the best of the best people there to educate you on what they're doing and where they're trying to like advance in the future. So that was really cool to hear about all the sciences of it. I know, obviously I can't record anything and show it on here, but I know when I went to Indian Wells, they had a scientist panel for that event, and they actually put that one up on YouTube, so you can find it online as well. Maybe I'll try to link it in here. But that was a really good discussion on everything that they're doing, how it's impacting like the scientific world, how it's impacting like healthcare, like all of it. It's a really good video just to kind of understand the significance of his teachings. So they're not just simple meditations. People ask me all the time, they're like, just teach me what you do, or they're like, just tell me what you do, and I'm like, I can't. Like, I can't. You honestly have to go through his teachings on your own to figure out like the velocity of everything that's going on, because you can't just dive into one of his meditations when you don't know what he's trying to direct you to do. His whole practice is about giving you an intention and giving you the information and the data and the research and the proof to back up what you're doing, so that you can go into the meditation with a very strong intention, a very strong belief, and a very strong understanding of what you're doing. His meditations are not just for the light-hearted people that are like, oh yeah, I think I would like to meditate. Like, you gotta be serious about his work. So after we did that, we did another kaleidoscope meditation, which is about the mystical. Again, if you know his work, you know what he talks about. And then had our lunch break, and then went back and did the co-healing meditation for the second time. And then we braked for the night. So we got done at like 7 o'clock. Not gonna lie, I had a mini meltdown with my friend in the lawn outside of the ballroom at the event. I was just having a hard time. Meditations are hard. I just wasn't feeling it. I couldn't get into it. It's just hard when you're at an event with so many people and they're all talking about how their amazing experiences, and you're like, I just laid there and felt good. But anyway, so tonight's an earlier night. He's going to be doing the bedtime meditation at 9:30 tonight, but he's doing that because we have to get up at 3 tomorrow. The event's going to start at 4, so I have to wake up at 3 a.m. I'm going to quickly jump in the shower, eat the rest of my food, and then get ready for the meditation. I will see you later. So, sorry about the terrible lighting.
Washing away the noise, nothing stays the same. I'll follow you. I'll follow you. I'll follow you when tides are turning. I'll follow.
All right, so we're back home. Obviously, home, Jeep, puppy. It has been a very long, hot minute since I was in Denver, not gonna lie. Life kind of took an interesting turn, so I'm trying to hurry and get this video out. I wanted to talk about the difference between the advanced retreats that Dr. Joe Dispenza does and the week-long events. This is now my 4th event. The first one that I went to was in Niagara Falls. Absolutely loved it. Hands down, best experience I've ever had in my entire life. Like, it was a very big changing point in my life. So, recap again, I went to Niagara Falls for the first time. I believe it was in 2019. At the end of 2019, was in love with his events, wanted to go to another one, booked one for Indian Wells in California, Palm Springs, California, like early 2020. And then right after that, went to my first advanced retreat in Munich, Germany. So I actually ended up meeting 2 girls that I ended up being really good friends with at the Niagara event, and we went together to see each other and meet up in Germany. Long story, one's from Norway, one's from Oregon, so we went to the Germany one to kind of see each other. But overall, I think I really enjoyed the week-long advance a lot more than the advanced follow-ups. Because there's a couple of differences. The week-long events, of course, it's a week, so you're immersed with his content for a longer period of time, and I think that longer period of time really allows you to get further along with his teachings. It was a more profound experience for me because you had more time to really dive into the content, practice it, get better at it, and just have a complete reset, because he talks a lot about how you kind of want to leave your life for a minute and leave everything at the door so that you can create a new one. And having the 7 days just helped with that a lot more. And with how they function the events, like, you get to know your group a lot more at the 7-day retreat, because they really immerse you into like your family within the group. With your group, you do trust falls with your group. Sometimes you'll have late night meetings with your group and they'll kind of just rehash everything. So you really get to know the people within your group a lot more than I feel like you do at the advanced retreats. With the advanced retreats, although a lot of people go there and kind of meet up with each other because they've already met at other events, so it's kind of more like the community that you bring with you there is the community that you have there. It feels a lot more just independent, and you're kind of hanging out with the people that you knew before, whereas the 7-day, you're kind of more isolated from the people that you knew, and then you form bonds within the people that you've met there. Another big difference is that the 7 days, it's not as much work. You have more free time, and the meditations aren't as intense. With the advanced retreat, he expects you to show up, know what you're doing, and get to it right away. And with the first 3 events that I went to, I was practicing his meditations regularly, and I was completely immersed in his content. With this last one, I just barely went to this one in 2022, so there was a 2-year gap that I didn't go to any events because of COVID. So getting back into the event was just so hard because you do so many meditations throughout the day. It's a very, 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 very long day, and I fell off of my meditations. Well, I fell off of doing his meditations. I was just doing short, like 10-15 minute meditations, and jumping back into like an hour-long meditation was so hard for me to do it. So jumping into this one in Denver, when I hadn't been around Joe's teachings as much and I hadn't been practicing the meditations, like completely destroyed me for those 4 days. I was like, I couldn't get out of my head. I couldn't focus. Like, I was judging every meditation that I did. And everyone, like, when you come out of meditation, like, everyone is always talking about their experiences, and they're like, had these like crazy experiences. And I'm like, I was just trying to like allow myself to get out of my way. I just struggled at this one so bad. And I brought a lot of the things that were going on into my personal life into that event as well. and I could not for the life of me separate my mind from what was going on back home to what was going on in the event. So it made it extremely hard and extremely not enjoyable at all. So not bashing on his event at all. It was an amazing event. I know a lot of the other people that were there loved it. It just was not my cup of tea at that time, and I was so happy to come back home. I was very happy for the effort that I put in while I was there, but like, oof. But other than the last event that I went to, which showed Dispenza being a complete shit show because of my own fault, all the other experiences were really good. Do I think I'm gonna go to one in the future? Probably not for a while. I just feel kind of called to do other things. But I do, buddy, hey. But anyways, I would highly recommend his content. And I'll also say I feel a lot more like on the same level as the people that go to the 7-day retreats and not the advanced follow-ups. Because as with anything that you get involved with, like any sort of spiritual teacher and has a really big following, some of the people that you're gonna run into are just gonna be a little bit different. And while I love his events, I just didn't connect with some of the people as much. They're really like the die-hard Dr. Joe Dispenza followers, which I love, but like just not my realm of life. I'm very much into like spiritual practices, but I'm not off like the deep end as a lot of these people are. Not to say that that's bad, but they just are interested in different things than I am, and I don't want to go that far. Are we doing this again? All right, are we done? Are you done with Mama talking? He's over it. Okay, I love you. Hey. So yes, in conclusion, I did love his events, but I think when you kind of get into something that like it was an amazing experience at first, I just feel like I've moved on to other things for a little bit. So, as with life, you change, you get interested in different things, you know? So, I think that's everything. Where is my mom? Ma, this place is gonna close. And if I don't get a chai tea latte before the time that this closes and I've been sitting here, I'm gonna be upset.